Hello, welcome to the studio and welcome to 2024. My first time in the shed studio this year, and this week I thought I would show you one of the things that I've discovered. So basically I do make mistakes and things don't always go according to plan, and I've discovered a few ways to correct things and rectify things that I need to do. So this is just a little tip that I use to stick down chine colle when it hasn't stuck as it should do, basically. It's just a thing to save a print when it's maybe gone a little bit wrong. If you like the video, please do click like. There's loads more videos now on the channel, so have a look. Subscribe if you want to hear about new ones. And happy 2024. So this is a little technique that I've discovered. It doesn't always work, but most of the time it does. And this is when I've done chine colle on here. Now this is a really big piece of chine colle. All this orange area is chine colle. So that is tissue paper stuck down, in theory, to the etching paper as it goes through the press. And that's what the orange colour is, basically. It's an orange printed tissue paper. But it has stuck all around these edges here, and there's a big patch in the middle that is sort of buckling and not stuck. And this does sometimes happen. Seems to be, I'm not sure why it is actually, to do with the glue perhaps, or a bit too wet or not enough glue. So I can't lift the whole thing off because this is all stuck around the edges. But I need to kind of get some glue in underneath this area here. So I am going to I'm going to use a sharp knife here. I'm going to make a very gentle cut through, and I'm going to slide some glue underneath. So I'm also just going to get a piece of tissue paper ready. Let me just get this piece ready here. And this is going to be to press onto the paper afterwards. So the scary bit is figuring out where to cut. So I think I'm going to cut down here. Now when this is glued down, in theory you shouldn't see the cut. And I'm just cutting sort of through where it's not stuck. Okay, so you might not be able to, there's the cut there. And then I've got some rice glue here. Sometimes it's called nori paste, sometimes it's called rice glue. And I've got a little sort of thin, flat brush. Just getting some of that glue on there. And I am very gently, I'm just going to ease that open there. I'm concentrating really hard here because what I don't want to do is rip the tissue, obviously. Now, it's highly unlikely that I'm going to be able to get the glue absolutely everywhere. But I can get quite a lot of it now. There we go. Just going to ease that up a bit. So there's a little bit of give in this tissue, which I'm just letting the brush take some of that give. Okay, so I'm now going to press that back down again with this piece of scrap tissue. Oh, I'm just going to lift it up. Oh. Okay, right. And I'm going to press it with my fist towards the cut that I've made, so that any excess glue will just sort of squidge out of the cut. Okay, so that's one side. I'm just going to do the other side as well. Again, I'm going to recruit my craft knife to just ease it open. This glue is really transparent and you can hardly tell it's there when it's dry. That's partly why I love using it. It's usually traditionally used for chine colle anyway, so this is originally what went on the tissue. For whatever reason, it didn't stick going through the press. It could have been because the etching paper was originally too damp or something like that. And I'm not, some people do like to dilute this with water, this glue, but I don't tend to. Seems to work better without. Just holding it up there with the knife. It's a bit of a procedure, this, but it is worth doing, I think, if you've got quite a large area that hasn't stuck very well. Okay, now I'm just going to lift that up again very gently and place it where I want it, I think. Okay, I'm going to get the tissue again, and again I'm going to press with my fist towards the cut I've made and hope. That's just, I've got to be very gentle because it's picking up where I just glued. I'm just going to unwrinkle that a little bit. I'll do. Really gentle. Okay, I'm just going to press down. I think that's going to be the best thing. And there we go. You can't see where the cut has been, generally, unless you really look very hard. And the glue is completely matte, so you can't, once it's dry, certainly it'll be completely matte, so you can't see it. And this whole area is now stuck down much better than it was. So that's a little top tip that I've learnt. I'm just going to show you, I've just made another cut here actually, and there's just another way of doing it. I sometimes use a piece of mount card, and that can sometimes be a little bit easier. So I'm just using it here because it's just that bit thinner, and I can just slide it a bit further under the paper. And then what I do is I just use the card itself to just gently brush down towards the original cut that I made. And again, you can see that you cannot see the cut. You can see a little bit of shiny glue there, but that will dry matte, and you can't see the cut.